What's going on, everyone? This is Jay from Premier Gaming Entertainment, and I'm going to be bringing to you my predictions video for this week's game versus Army. And just off the shoot, just off the gate, this game's going to be a little bit different than the conventional game against any other team. Obviously, for everyone who doesn't know, playing, Army or playing Navy or Air Force or, this is a team that is not going to play, the traditional type offense. It's going to basically play a run first, run heavy offense with the occasional pass here and there to keep, keep the defenses honest, almost like a knuckleball pitcher in baseball that always throws the knuckleball, but then occasionally might sneak in a fastball just to kind of throw you off or to keep keep you honest. That's how it is playing Army with their triple threat attack offense. So trust me, I know that Michigan's defense, the team as a whole, has been preparing for playing Army, and overall they've had experience from playing Air Force in the past. So that that is good that they've had that experience already, and now they're going to once again have a team like that on their resume to play this week. So I wanted to give you my thoughts and opinions and my predictions on this game for this week coming up. It's going to be an interesting game. From my observation from seeing how Army did in their first week versus Rice. If everything holds true, this Army team is not as good as the one that won 11-2 last year, was a top 25 team. So obviously this is going to be good for Michigan as far as trying to get a victory. Who knows? Army might still end up being that type of team this year, but right now as it is, they're definitely not that same team from last year. So first, I'm going to kind of split it up and just talk about the offense and the defense. Now, offensively, more than likely, most people feel that when you play a team like Army or Navy, that's real heavy in running and ball control and stuff like that, that the very key thing and key component to success against one of those teams is to play smart football and play patient football. And most people would think on the defensive end, which is to an extent true, but in all honesty, the key to us winning this game this week versus Army is to be very, very patient and smart on the offensive end. And I'm going to explain why. A lot of teams where they get into trouble against a team like an Army is they try to do things out of their comfort range. They try to rush their offense. They try to speed things up, per se, and that gets them into trouble. And the reason why they do this is because they feel as though if they don't do that, they may not get the ball back for a quarter, or it might be half a quarter, or whatever the case may be. A team like Army is going to slow the game down, grind it out, and limit the amount of touches and the amount of possessions that their opponent has in a game. And because the opponent knows that, they feel that they have to be kind of rushing their offense when they don't need to be. And it throws them off. It throws them out of their game plan. And, it works to the advantage of Army that teams feel that pressure of knowing that, man, if we don't score, we might not see the ball again for another 7 to 8 minutes. So the key to Michigan having success is to not worry about that, play their game, and not fall into the trap of rushing and doing things out of what they would consider their norm on offense. So, key thing is, like I said, just continuing to do what you do and do what you do best. And for the most part, try not to worry and concern yourself with Army's offense. And I'm talking about from the offensive standpoint for Michigan. So Shea Patterson, hopefully he's healthy, healthier than he was to end the game last week against Middle Tennessee State, and that he'll have a good game through the air. I don't know how good defensively how good Army is this year. The game against Rice, it was 14-7. So I don't know whether or not the mere fact that Rice only scored 7 is because of how good Army's defense was or just how bad Rice was. Now, Rice was a team that I think only won 2 games last year, so I'm going to probably say that it's more an indictment on Rice's offense more than anything else. But all the same, we need a top performance from Michigan as far as Shea Patterson goes. The running game is going to have to be very, very good. I think that's going to be, it's not going to be an issue. Zach Charbonnet being, healthy and leading the way last week, I think our running attack will be fine. In the passing game, looks like Donovan Peoples-Jones won't be back again this week, which sucks, but it's not the end of the world. It would be great to see them at full strength, to see them actually do what we think they're going to do. I think last week with Shea Patterson being limited, that probably took away from us seeing what he could do. There was a stretch between about the mid to end part of the first quarter, all the way to the end of the second quarter, where we had an opportunity to see Michigan's offense, pretty much do what we thought it was going to do. And then after that, I feel like they just packed it in for the rest of the game. So hopefully we see more of that stretch between the halfway point of the first quarter to the end of the first half. We see more of that to get a real idea of how Michigan's offense is going to be. On defense, we're going to have to, play sound. One of the issues I think that we may have is, and this might have just been for the first game, I don't know, but this game we're going to have to see a heavier rotation in as far as our line play. Our line play has to be much, much better this week, obviously, against Army. And it should be. A team that's basically going to be running the ball 90 to 95% of the time. The game is going to be won or lost in the trenches. So our front seven has to do the job, especially our linemen, and trying to get penetration, throw them off, and get them out of their rhythm running the football. One of the key ways to defeat an Army team is to get out and get up big on them and force them out of their comfort zone. So getting a few stops and getting a few scores early is going to be key for us to win this game. And hopefully this means that we're going to see a little bit more rotation as far as the line goes. We barely saw anything out of Chris Hinton as far as game experience last week. I don't know what that was about. From what I heard, Mozzie Smith didn't even get in the game. I think this game will probably see them just from the mere fact of, allowing the linemen to stay fresh, and so they'll probably be more consistently added to the rotation as far as the line goes, because we're going to need it. But, we don't need our line being out there for too long, getting tired, and not having a proper rotation in there. So it's probably going to be all players on deck for this game. Other than the front seven, the secondary, other than being the last line of defense and being able to tackle in space, they're not going to have as much to do for this game, for the obvious reason that, we know that Army's going to be typically just running the football more than anything else. So we still have to, rely on our safeties and our corners to be able to come up and do run support. So that's still going to be very important, but through the air, not so much. And so we'll just have to see how this goes. Like I said, the line play is going to be important. Our linebackers are also going to be important to make sure they stay in their gaps. They don't overcommit or over pursue, and that they just play a sound game and do their job to plug up any holes that are missed by the defensive line. So as far as the game goes, the line is, from my side, 22 points. Don't know necessarily if Michigan will cover that, not from a standpoint of winning or losing, but just for a standpoint of mere fact that Army's going to be trying to hold the football as long as possible and limiting the amount of possessions that we have in the game. So obviously Michigan's going to win this game. It's at home, but I don't know necessarily whether or not they're going to be able to, one, cover that spread, or two, really get their offensive flowing this week. It's probably going to take another week for us to really get rolling with that. It's going to be a work in progress, and I think this week is not going to be an exception. So I think that Michigan's going to win the football game, but it's not going to be where they're scoring 50, 60 points. So I'm going to say it's going to be something like, 31-10 or something like that. That's pretty much the way I see it. So anyways, that's it for the video. Thank you for watching. If you liked the video, definitely feel free to leave a like on the video. It definitely helps my channel out tremendously. And it shows support for the channel and helps it to grow. Let me know how you feel in the comment section below. Do you think that Michigan is going to have any problem with Army this week, or if it's going to be an easier game just based off of how well, or lack of how well, they did against Rice last week? And try to share this video with as many people as possible to get the talk going as far as Michigan football. And if you enjoy my content and you continue to watch the videos, definitely subscribe to the channel. Like I said, I'm trying to grow this channel as big as possible. So any subscriber that or any viewer that enjoys my content and watches on a weekly basis, definitely subscribe to the channel and help support my channel. Anyways, thank you for watching the video, and go blue.